First off, I want to thank everybody in attendance here today. It's great to see so many family members, cousins, friends of the Potchak boys, as well as our distinguished guests. Senator Lagerholtz, thank you. I'm not going to go through the list of everybody you thank, but I want to add Shelby McHenry for doing the research for the military records of the brothers, and maybe most importantly, the ladies serving us from Bartholomew's Parish. I apologize if I missed anybody. I'm fighting a little bit of a cold, so my voice is, I want to apologize in advance to some of my cousins when I pronounced the boy's surname Potchak, but it always befuddled me how 6 boys living in the same house pronounced their last names differently. Anyway, I digress and want to especially thank Dave Potchak for his attention in this project. Without his effort and fortitude, we would not be here today dedicating the bridge in our family's namesake. On Tuesday of this past week, America celebrated Veterans Day, and I want to personally thank all the veterans again who are here today for your service. Nonetheless, we gather today to honor and give specific homage to 6 veterans who were very dear to many of us and whose service and return from service touched many of our lives. This lineage all started when my grandparents, Anastasia Makehart and Theodore Frank Potchak, immigrated to the United States. They were married in South Fork at St. Michael's Greek Catholic Church in 1913 and settled in Wilmore, PA, less than 100 yards from the bridge that we're speaking of. Grandpap supported the family working on the Pennsylvania Railroad. They raised 6 boys and 2 daughters during the early years of the 20th century and throughout the Great Depression. They struggled like many families in their time, but they survived on their small homestead. The young Potchak boys and girls made the most of their surroundings and spent an inordinate amount of time in and around the bridge and in the north branch of the Conemaugh River, otherwise known to many of us as Wilmore Creek. I recall countless stories from my dad and my uncles on their creek activities, from swimming at Willow Beach and the Orange Hole, ice skating from the bridge to the Wilmore Dam, and fishing and trapping along its banks. These activities and pursuits were passed down to many of us here today, and to this day, my brother Mark and I come back each year to trout fish in my dad's and Uncle Chuck's favorite fishing holes. One of the more famous stories, no doubt about a bit embellished, was when the boys jumped off the bridge and floated the creek during the 1936 flood. My dad would have been 16 at the time, and he said the water was so high they had to lay flat on their inner tubes so they didn't hit their heads on the bridge deck as they passed underneath. I guess boys will be boys, but 5 years later, those 6 boys had to quickly grow into men when America entered World War II. The Potchak brothers, together with their entire generation of men and women, stepped up when they were needed most by their country, and that is why they will forever be known as the greatest generation. So let's step back in time and imagine a period. It is now 1944, and America has been at war for the better part of 3 years. Frank and Anastasia have sent their 6 boys overseas in harm's way. In the Potchak kitchen's window hangs a banner of 6 blue stars. A facsimile of it is back there on the table. Imagine Grandma's daily anguish of not knowing where her boys were. Today we all live in a moment, can reach our kids, if they answer, anywhere in the world in seconds. But in 1944, her means of communication with her boys were at best month-old letters. But Grandpap and Baba, and with the help of Aunt Catherine, Uncle Jack, and Aunt Mary, endured the unknown. Fortunately for many of us here today, all 6 boys returned home, and none of those blue stars ever turned gold. A little bit about the 6 Potchak brothers in their service. Stephen was born February 18, 1914. He was drafted into the United States Army on February 5, 42, and served as a medical specialist in the Army Air Corps. He was honorably discharged from the United States Army with the rank of Staff Sergeant on December 1st, 1946. Uncle Steve passed away on March 28, 1994. John was born September 18, 1918. He enlisted in the United States Navy on June 1939. He was assigned to the USS Helena during the attack on Pearl Harbor, but was not on board during the attack. He was honorably discharged from the United States Navy with the rank of Chief Electrician's Mate on November 28, 1945. Uncle John passed away on May 12, 2010. Michael, my dad, was born October 15, 1920. He enlisted in the United States Navy on November 15, 42, and was assigned to the USS Baton. He was honorably discharged from the United States Navy with the rank of Electrician's Mate, First Class, V6, on March 5, 1946. Dad passed away on February 2, 2009. Frank was born November 13, 1922. He enlisted in the United States Navy on February 23rd of 43 and was assigned to several vessels, including the USS Calum Bay, the SS Jacob Luckenbach, and the SS Janet Lord Roper. To many who do a little bit of research with World War II, a lot of these ships were called Kaiser coffins because so many of them were sunk. He was honorably discharged from the United States Navy with the rank of Seaman First Class on February 17, 1946. Uncle Frank passed away on November 5, 2000. Charles was born December 26, 1924. He enlisted in the United States Army on July 12, 43, and was assigned to Battery C, 55th Field Artillery Battalion, and fought in the New Guinea campaign in the Battle of Luzon. He was honorably discharged from the United States Army with the rank of corporal on February 9, 1946. Uncle Chuck passed away on February 20th, 2012. Peter was born July 5th, 1926. He was drafted at 18 into the United States Army on November 15th, 1944. Peter was assigned, Headquarters Company, 86th Chemical Mortar Battalion, and fought in the Rhineland campaign. Peter was honorably discharged from the United States Army with the rank of Technician 5th grade, December 5th, 1945. Uncle Pete passed away on May 9th, 1998. All 6 boys, again, were honorably discharged. The boys received numerous medals, citations, and honors for their service, including but not limited to Good Conduct Medals, World War II Victory Medals, Presidential Unit Citations, miscellaneous campaign medals, miscellaneous liberation medals, and several Bronze Stars. Their service pictures hang in honor in the Johnstown, Cambria County War Memorial, along with a plaque recognizing our grandparents for having 6 sons served during the war. In closing, we are all humbled to be a part of this dedication, and I am excited to cross the bridge and see the Potchak Boys Memorial Bridge. Again, I want to thank everyone and anyone who may have been involved in bestowing this honor to our dads and our uncles and for making this day possible. Thank you.
Two. And we now have the national anthem by the Forest Hills High School.
Oh, say, can you see